Hello everybody, how's it going? And welcome to Off the Battlefield episode... I don't remember what episode it is, but this is the fortnightly official podcast of Smash UK, where we go through tournament results, upcoming tournaments, and general Smash chat. My name is Skrull from Newcastle.
I'm Lorenzo from London.
And with us today we've got the usual two guests, however, one of them is from up here with me. So Dale, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm a DCJ based in the northeast, generally known for my Yoshi and PM, but I run all the events up here as well. So,
and also with us we have a member of the LC.
Yeah, I'm Brado from LC Leicester. I've been playing for like 7 years, and I've just started running monthly tournaments in Leicester as well.
Alright, cool. So, without further ado, let's jump straight into results with Meltdown. Lorenzo, take it away.
Yeah, so the latest Meltdown, actually the last couple of Meltdowns we've been doing quite well. We've been getting 32-man entrants, so yeah, pretty good turnout, always nice. And also a couple of people have been actually travelling a little bit to make it to these events, so it's quite nice people have started doing that. So the latest one was our Melee tournament, and Prof made it down for that, so he took first.
Surprise.
No surprises there. R23, well, actually, what I will say is that R23 had to leave, sadly, before he could play his losers finals.
Boo.
So he and the Langman, a.k.a. Hentai King 420, a.k.a. El Kumo, a.k.a. Johnny Kalashnikov, a.k.a. Apology, a.k.a. Duke Fay. He and Duke have to settle second and third if they want to, and I think they might agree to do that at tomorrow's bi-weekly if they're both there. Otherwise, they can sort that out themselves. But basically, they took Duke fought his way through losers to get to losers finals. So basically, yeah, good stuff from both of them. R23 taking out Alpha Dash, which is a slight upset, I guess, but yeah, good on him. And yeah, well-run tournament. I think good tournament. It was nice to see a lot of people turn up and play. Also, shouts to the Oxford guys as well. They Pyro, Weege, Twin, etc. Who made the journey to the event as well. And yeah, so great event. Really enjoyed it. And we'll talk about the next ones coming up next week.
Fair enough. And moving swiftly along, then we've got NES1. Which was kind of a landmark because we had the most amount of entrants that we've ever had at NES.
Oh, yes.
Dale, do you want to talk about the stress and anxiety of it then?
I don't know, it's been a weird year. Like, I'm not quite sure what happened, but at the start of this year, everyone decided that the NE is the place to be, and everyone's coming up and entering our tournaments and taking our money away.
I mean, yeah, the only complaint we really have is about the money part. I think that's
all joking aside, like, obviously it's a really, really good thing because we've sort of been stuck in between playing against ourselves for a year pretty much. So it's good for everyone to come up. It was very busy, but it was good fun and lots of upsets as well. I think lots of people.
And you could see the results
a lot further. Yeah.
How many entries did you get for each game?
PM we had the 32-man dream. We had the 32-man dream for PM.
Oh, beautiful.
And
I think we had 32 for PM, and then we had 30-ish for Melee, and then for Smash 4, I think
29, wasn't it? 29 for Smash 4. We had double limb for Smash 4, pools for Melee and PM.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, pretty close across all three games in regards to entrance.
Yeah, and in the results, obviously, you can see you can see how dominant Mr. Will Savage was. Will's LC, indeed, coming up and just I think he's a Sheldon boy now. However, the blood pact with LC has been diminished by the Sheldon boy pact.
Yeah, Wills likes the NE, man. He really does.
He loves that for you, man.
Stealing it.
I keep asking him when he's back in Leicester. He's like, "Oh, I'm in Sheldon." Oh, okay.
Does he mention spaghetti at all? Because I'd be surprised if he didn't.
All the time.
People don't know as well. Like Shildon's like the arse end of the northeast. Like it's like
shots fired.
No, it's true though. Like even Shildon will tell you. Like Shildon is a crap hole.
I didn't look at it on the map. I just assumed it was like a borough of Newcastle or something. But
nope.
It's miles.
No, it's not in Newcastle.
Oh,
but But yeah, Wills came up and showed us that there's quite a gap in all three games. So
yes, I remember watching that on stream. I mean, shoutouts to Manon. He did a really good job because this was one of his first times getting out of pools, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah, like it's really weird. Like he always gets just pipped out of pools, like just doesn't get in.
He's in the VIP section of pools. He's in the VIP section of pools.
And then this time he came third in PM and second in Melee, and everyone was sort of scratching their heads a bit.
The dude stomped through bracket in both games.
I think he's just putting a lot of work. Like
it's because he's not coming to NES 2, so he's like, I'm going to put in work this monthly, and then come back at NES 3 and do work.
But yeah, credit to him. It's nice to see people who put in work actually getting some results.
It's definitely good to have a bit of a change up in results like that.
Yeah,
exactly.
As drastic as you've said, going from not getting out of pools to second and third is really good.
Yeah, I do remember the winners' finals was a bit. If we talk about the gap, so
let's not talk about.
Is that when Wills played DK?
DK, Bowser, Pikachu, and then Ganon dittoed him and beat him in a Ganon ditto. Oh god,
it's Pikachu as well. That was
really weird because he wouldn't, Wills wouldn't be able to do that against someone like TFU, for example, or Arinze, but against Manon. He could just play whoever he wanted and win. It was really strange.
I think one of the reasons partly is Ganon's a character that, I mean, okay, he plays Falcon. It's not the same character, but I think he understands the sort of spacing elements that Ganon's going for. I think with a character like that, it's quite difficult to. If you're playing someone who's better than you, then it can be really hard.
He just wanted to style. That's all it was. It wasn't any tactic. He was like, I'm going to just style on these fools.
Yeah,
they have
there
no
was a
idea
bit
what
of
they're doing.
Obviously, but with a character like Ganon, it just makes it a bit easier.
Yeah, true.
And Will really does get in people's heads, even if you don't realise it. He
does. He mind games you so hard.
He can play people that are still good players, but I don't know what it is about him. He can get into people's heads and make them play a lot better.
He's so underhand nice. He's like, oh, how you doing? Nice to see you. I'm gonna body you. It's like, excuse me? What?
No, but Wills is secretly not nice, right? He does this thing where he's on the surface nice, but then in Smash he does everything in his power to embarrass you, and then afterwards shakes your hand and then walks away grinning.
Is he a baddie, Dale? Is he a baddie?
He's definitely a baddie. I really, really like Wills. Wills really, really get on. But he's definitely a baddie. Definitely.
Shouts to Wills. It's always nice to have heels in our scene, and I think he's definitely one of them.
He is the biggest heel.
Should have seen his performance at Mate.
Oh my God.
But not good.
Whoa, I think we'll move on to that.
Yeah, let's move on to Mate, and we see him in Melee. He's in the top 8, but...
Yeah. Well, let me just go through. Mate it was the first tournament held within the Midlands since Heir to the Throne, all that time ago. We just sort of had a bit of a drought because Ed stopped hosting, so I just stood there, manned up and hosted. And then we got 40 entrants for Melee and PM. We filled up all the spots in about 2 days, which I couldn't really believe. I think Midlands just be thirsty for tournaments, that's it. The results are pretty much what you'd expect to an extent, with players swapping over, Jin won Melee, Wills won PM. But, yeah, there's not really much you'd not expect in the top 8.
Well, one thing I'm going to be honest and didn't expect, I know how Kuro is a really, really strong player, but above Wills and Melee, I mean, okay.
Wills very good.
6 pints deep. So I don't know how.
That sounds like Wills.
Yeah, I don't think we've had a Midlands tournament where alcohol wasn't served in a good while.
I see.
Yeah. So I don't know, but Hal still won. He got himself to losers final. So
good man, Hal. Good man.
Funny.
Nice scene.
Yeah,
nice scene.
There's a lot of good player around. All the videos on Smash UK for Melee as well. We didn't get any PM recorded, sadly.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, went as expected. Beta not willing to losers finals, and then Wills did the 2-set comeback.
Nice one.
Same with JJL in Melee, knocking Jin into losers, and then me as a TO hating the fact that there's 2-set grand finals in both games.
Oh well, price you got to pay, really.
Yeah, but now the event went really well. Got really good feedback from everybody, and it should set us up well going forward.
Ah, good stuff. So moving swiftly along then into OSU, which is a Scottish tournament where they had Melee, PM, and Smash 4. In Melee, the results looked like Shifting Shadows placing first, Captain Zeppo placing second, and Fade placing third. Now, what I know from the Scottish scene, I know a small amount about the Scottish scene, but what I know is that Josh, Shifting Shadows, is a monster with Falcon. That dude is crazy.
I remember seeing him play at Air. He's good.
Yeah, he was at KOTN as well, and he did well.
Yeah, he just, like, melee-wise, he's, like, king of that castle in Scotland. Like, there's a bit of a gap in regards to the people behind him. But, they are working really hard to sort of try and close it.
Well, firstly, I'd like to give a big shout out to Alan Cameron, who has given me some information on all of these top 3 places. So thank you very much to him. That's always hugely appreciated. And I did know this before, but one thing is one interesting thing to note from this tournament is the return of Captain Zeppo.
The return of Captain Zeppo.
He's a proper old school player.
Yeah,
he's Shifting Shadows' mentor, apparently.
Damn.
So we're talking like the Goken comeback here, where he's come back. He's also a Falcon player, and put in some work.
Damn, good stuff, Captain Zeppo. Then I like seeing like the old school being reinvigorated and then coming back and still being able to put in work. Like I hate that sort of old stereotype of the old players are gonna like drop off because they haven't been practicing, and then this guy's just like, nah, I'm gonna play second. It's alright, don't worry about it.
I've heard a lot of good comments from him, especially from Ed, who's obviously played him a hell of a lot in the past.
Yeah.
And Ed has the opinion that he's literally one of the best players the UK's ever had. So if he carries on playing,
yeah,
you know who he plays? Like
he's a Falcon.
Oh, fair enough.
And he used to play Fuzzy a lot, I think, as well.
Oh,
He was one of the guys.
The only thing stopping him being the best in the past was the old school American player, the Doug.
The Doug, yeah, we've heard
Doug. I remember hearing legends of the
I
Doug
believe those two used to be two of the top players a long, long time ago.
on the boards.
Back in the olden days when Melee was played in black and white.
The golden days. Alright, so
just to give some, because we have these. One thing I feel that we do with Off the Battlefield is maybe we don't give enough time to some of the regions that we're less familiar about. Just to give some info on some of these other players, because they deserve recognition. Fade placing second in PM and third in Melee. Good to him. Apparently from what Alan tells me, he's a Melee Marth, basically, who probably, I assume, plays Marth and PM as well. So he's got the carryover skill. So good on him.
Good stuff. Yeah. If you're able to place in both games, then that's very, very good. So good stuff to you.
Also, well, Time Muffin, I think we're aware of. He's one of the UK Wolves.
Yep.
And I played him in brackets at Beast, where he bodied me. So good on him. He's a strong player.
Yeah, he is. He's really good.
I think he almost took a game off Mango as well when they played in PM. So shouts to him. And in terms of Smash 4, I'm told that from what the info I have, Jakobin is a Toon Link player, so good on him.
Damn.
Winning with Toon Link. And Pidgey is a Smash 4 Yoshi.
Yeah, I've heard of Pidgey before. I've definitely heard of Pidgey before.
Yeah, Pidgey's been around for a fair while. Used to play a lot of Brawl.
Oh, really? Oh, well, that Brawl skill carrying over, very nice.
He went to Beast as well.
Beast, yeah.
Yeah, he did. He got out of pools of Beast, actually.
Yeah, he did really well.
In the bracket, he did well. He had a fair few in bracket at Beast, didn't he? Smash.
For Smash 4, yeah. No, we did quite well. Just the info I've got on X-Rated is he's a Glasgow player and plays Falcon at Mario. So good on you Scottish players.
Scotland like a bit of Falcon, don't they?
Yeah, they do love Falcon.
It's good to see the Scottish scene are actually doing some stuff, because the UK scene, I don't want to say it's dry for the most part, but like Scotland, like they are putting in more work and they are having more tournaments. So it's always good to hear about that. You know, just more places, more people, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So moving along then to Final Destination 6, which was Bristol tournament, yeah.
No,
yeah.
Cardiff.
Cardiff.
Cardiff. My bad.
It's southwest, man. But the southwest scene it overlaps a bit because the Bristol players always go and play there as well.
Yeah. Fair enough. So they had Melee, Project M, and Smash 4. and much like NES, it looks like Will sort of turned up and swept a little bit. LC.
Yeah. Shoutouts to Wills. Wills likes to go to these other scenes and just prove he's dominant.
Yeah, a little bit.
So yeah, the self-proclaimed best in the UK at Smash 4 as well.
Of course. Well, I mean, if
that's not true, is it? Is that true?
I don't know. Well, no, you can't say that anymore because we've got Jay Miller. I mean,
Heal Old.
Oh yeah, obviously. Yeah, Jim.
Heal Old Guard, isn't it? Just those lot.
Heal Old Guard are the ones.
Exis, Ho For You, CRZ, all those lads.
Yeah, those guys. Yeah, who sadly don't make it out to enough tournaments. So
they were in New York recently, and Ho For You was on stream doing a bit of work.
They placed really well in New York from what I saw posted.
Yeah, Ixis got like 9th, and I think he was playing Bowser, but I'm not 100% sure, so someone's gonna have to confirm that. But I think he was. I don't think he appeared on stream though. I saw Mike Ho For You on stream, but I didn't see Ixis. But I think they both did well. I think Mike got like 13th, I think. But back to Final Destination 6, where we see Candy placing 3rd in Melee and 2nd in PM, I'm assuming again with Bowser, because that man likes to put in work with King Koopa, so good
Except
stuff.
in Smash 4, where he plays Wii Fit
Trainer, yes. We remember us addressing this on an episode of OTV. Oh man.
Why does he not play Bowser?
Lotia Syndrome, supposedly.
I don't know if it's
Bowser good in Smash 4?
He's all right.
High mid tier, I'd say, or like low mid, somewhere in the mid tier.
I think it's just that he said he felt like trying something else. Although, maybe to be fair, I mean, Ixis doesn't play Bowser in Smash 4 either.
Yeah, he plays Sonic, right?
Yeah. Although we've spoken to Ixis about this, and he just says that he wants to win. So
that's fair enough.
I don't blame him. He's
trying with Bowser for so many years in 4.
He's such a good player, and he's just like, look, I'm gonna take a good character and go a long way now because I've done my due.
Yeah.
So
yeah. He put it. I've seen some of his old Bowser VODs where he puts in like mad amounts of work against like Ho For You and Blood Bowler and all those guys. It's insane. So yeah, if you do feel like a change is needed, then credit to you for like recognizing that and wanting to do more. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Also, I'd like to give a little mention here to Hylian Reaper because we've seen this guy placing in previous OTBs.
He's always in the top 3 results. Always.
And we don't know a lot about him, but shoutouts to Ship. I was talking to Ship earlier, who gave me a little bit of information on him. So as far as we know, he's very old school. Apparently played back in the beginning and then took a hiatus and came back. He's a Samus player, so
fair enough.
Hylian Reaper, shoutouts to you. I'm glad to see you're back in the scene, putting in some work, and
Good stuff.
I think one other thing to note: Melee Matt Smith, who came 2nd.
Yeah, I've tried to find out some information on this.
Well, he's Doctor Who, so what more could you really want? So, was Doctor Who? I mean,
from what Will told me, I think he's a very new player, and he's played a lot of net play.
Oh, he's a net play warrior.
Net play boys.
Yeah. And he's played a lot with Rash Attack, who
nice.
lives in Warwick, and obviously he plays
Doc, right?
top 8 at May. He's played a lot with Rash Attack and stuff, and I believe it's one of his first offline tournaments. Will said he was really good standard, he's a decent player.
Oh, good stuff.
Who does he play?
I believe Falco, but don't quote me on it.
All right.
Good net play
Will
character.
telling me that he played a hell of a lot of Falcos on his travels.
That doesn't surprise me. Falco's never a bad option, and actually, he's quite a good character to put in work to practice with. He's one of the best characters, I'd say, for sort of learning on your own, because tech skill gets you so far with him.
Yeah.
And also on net play it seems to work as well, because also quick shout out to Oyton as well, another Oxford player who placed pretty well at the latest Meltdown. He beat LJ. He's a net play warrior as far as I'm aware, also a Falco player. So
fair enough. Net play warrior seems to be putting in work.
Yeah, quite right.
So in terms of upcoming tournaments, what we've got Time to Try, which is going to be a bi-weekly friendly thing hosted by Inertia, and that's going to be in Surrey. Okay, and that's going to start.
It's in Surbiton.
Oh, okay,
so
fair enough.
Basically, very South London.
Okay, South London on the 19th of February. So that's this Thursday. So it's starting.
It's tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow. It's starting tomorrow. So if you're down in South London, I guess contact Peter Willis on the Facebook page and see if you can get into that, sign yourself up, and see if you can come down. I don't know who's confirmed for that.
Loads of people, dude. The time to try. The time to try is going to be a big thing in the coming. Like it's in the Smash or DI venue, which is a great venue.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Dale, Brad, you've been to this venue before. It's pretty big, you know. And they allow you to take your own food and drink in. It's not costing too much for venue, so overall you're winning there. It's not too out of the way Surbiton either, and we'll look. Hopefully they're going to have a good stream set up. So tune in tomorrow night if you can. If this is out in time, tune in and watch that. And there should be a lot of strong players going. I mean, obviously Jolteon's going to be going because he lives very nearby. I get the impression that Prof may be going, and just a lot of players are, because it's a big venue. There's lots of space. It's a great opportunity to play lots of people you probably wouldn't normally. Pete hosts great events anyway. Shout out to him. Very, very good TO.
Yeah, he's very good.
And I mean, I have lectures and I cannot go, which I'm really sorry about. And as soon as my term's over, I'm going to be going every fortnight, definitely. So it's really good to see this getting off the ground, because in London the extended community, although we sometimes don't meet up very often, is huge, and it's great to see. We could definitely do with more events like this.
Yeah, I was going to say you could have those in every corner of London and be getting good numbers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I believe one last thing, Pete is promised an announcement on this.
Yeah,
I believe.
Ooh,
he is. Yeah,
announcement hype.
There is a special
He's very
announcement.
coy with it.
Oh, announcement hype.
Yeah.
Yes, look forward to.
Are they going to stream the announcement? Do we know?
Yes,
Yeah.
the announcement's. It's going to be announced on stream. It might be the next Smash or DI. We don't know, but apparently it's something I think Pete's had in the works for a while, because I remember when he was last at my house, him sort of saying, "Oh, I wish I could tell you guys something, but I can't because it's a secret."
Oh my god, that is. Oh my god.
So whatever it is, I think it sounds like it's been in the works for a while, and I'm sure it's something very good.
Nice. So yeah, that's going to be tomorrow, 19th Feb. Head on down if you're near there. Next up, we've got on the Saturday, we have Dat Smash Doe 2, which is going to be Smash 4 singles and doubles, and I'm assuming that's going to be a tournament, and then there's going to be PM and Melee friendlies there as well. That's going to be in London on the Saturday, the 28th of February. So
that's next Saturday.
Yeah, next Saturday. So, do we know who's hosting this, or?
It's GP. Yeah.
Oh, it's Tom. All right, GP.
Heart of Gaming.
It's at Heart Gaming. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, and GP's running the tournament.
All right, good stuff.
Mr. Smash UK.
Mr. Smash UK himself.
Good stuff, Tom. Actually hosting tournaments. Okay, cool.
So the Heart of Gaming is a.
From what I've seen, it looks like an amazing venue if you're a fighting game and like arcade nut. Yeah. So if you know about it, it's basically, as far as I'm aware, it's like a massive like sort of warehouse-ish sort of venue down in London, in some part of London.
It's
pretty much, yeah.
It's in Acton, excuse me, and it's pretty much the only proper arcade left. It's got every kind of arcade game you could be looking for, and it's the venue fee is quite steep, but when you think about basically what they're offering you is all the DDR you can play in an entire day, which would normally cost you 50p a quid a game, and you're paying a flat fee to go play as much of it as you want.
Damn.
So in terms of, basically I'd say that if you're going to go there, then obviously go play a friendlies, fantastic, but if you could go just play a few arcade games that you normally have to pay money for, then go do a bit of that, play some House of the Dead or something, because that's where the money is, that's where you get your money's worth at Heart of Gaming. But those guys put on, they host a lot of events, and they really care about the scene a lot.
They have actually put in a lot for the Smash community in a sense.
Yeah.
they always have setups, and they got a lot of adapters and stuff for release of Smash 4.
Yeah.
But no, it's good to see that they're doing a Smash 4 tourney there, and I'm honestly expecting a lot of numbers for that.
Yeah.
I think big numbers.
Yeah, it's on a growing trend at the moment, Smash 4. It seems to be
definitely.
in the UK.
Yeah, so that's Dat Smash Doe 2, London. Get yourself Heart of Gaming, great venue.
The other one that's happening this Sunday, in fact, is the Four Quarters, which is quite a small tournament, but it's being run on a monthly basis in Peckham, and that's basically there's Melee and Smash 4 going on there. They'll have a little tournament for each and friendlies all night. Nice little venue. It's a bar a bit like Meltdown. The booze is, they do booze and food, all good. So if you're in the area for that, it's this Sunday evening. Come down for that.
I'm definitely planning on going to one of them. I really like the look of the place.
It is. It's a nice place, and
Simon is an XLC member as well.
Is he? Yes.
Out there. Yeah, he used to play with us years ago. He's played with us a few times, but
yeah, he mentioned that actually.
But no, I'd be down for something like that.
Yeah, it's good. Chat. Yeah, good stuff to Simon. Getting us another little event going in London. Always good.
Yeah.
And another event that's coming up the same weekend as Dat Smash Doe is Smash Beyond the Wall, which is happening in Edinburgh on Saturday and Sunday, the 28th and 29th.
Yeah, it's 2 day event.
Yeah, it's 2 days, yeah.
And that's going to have Melee singles and Melee doubles and PM singles, Smash 4 singles, and Smash 64 singles. So if you like any of those, get yourself up to Edinburgh. I know we're sending up a couple of guys. We're sending up, I think, Dale, you, Sir Aaron, and Diabound are going up, I think.
Yeah, I think so. That's what we've got confirmed so far.
There's finally been some housing, because we had an issue with housing for quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like they're obviously trying to aim to host quite a large tournament, but they're not able to house anyone. But to their credit, though, they have managed to sort it out, and I think they've got like a huge church-type thing.
Really?
That they're just going to... Yeah, I think so. That they're going to stick a load of people in.
We Beast
so,
now?
Yeah, a bit. Yeah, I guess a bit like Beast. But, so yeah, credit to them, because they did manage to sort of...
That is brilliant. That's something a lot of tournaments do miss out on, especially if they're aiming for big numbers, is housing. And getting something like that sorted is brilliant. Regardless of what it is, if you can have people stay the night, it makes everything so much easier for everyone.
Yeah, it was just more a case of they didn't just ignore the problem. You know, like, I think a lot of people in that instance would just sort of ignore it and just be like, well, just hope people come up and show housing, but they actually proactively went away and found like a church place, and credit to them. It's really appreciated.
Good.
Yeah.
I was definitely planning on going up for that as well. It's just it fell obviously same weekend as when I'm hosting.
Yeah, there's a lot going on that weekend actually.
Yeah, it is. Well, three different tournaments that weekend, which 2 yeyears ago would have been completely unheard of.
Yeah, pretty much.
Maybe a year ago.
And speaking of the other tournament, Brad, do you want to talk about Mate 2?
Yep, we've got Mate 2 coming up on the Sunday the 1st of March, and it is this time Melee only. Like, we had such a big response last time, and for Melee and PM, and it was possible to do it all. We got it all done, but I just want a bit more of a chilled out vibe. It's a regional monthly, so I've split it up. So we've got Melee singles and doubles at this event, where we've got again maxed out the entrance in less than 24 hours, and we get to play doubles, which you never get to do. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Awesome.
Good.
We've got pretty much all Midlands people confirmed, but we got Peter and Richard coming up from London as well.
D2D boys, shouts to them.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. It's going to be a good event.
So that's Gajin and
Inertia.
yeah.
Yeah,
D2 and Zelda, two very odd characters, but cool to see.
D2D though.
D2D.
Yeah.
And speaking of regional monthlies, we have NES2 coming up on March 8th, something I'm very, very excited for.
So am
but
I.
also have a very large amount of anxiety about. We're going to have PM singles, Melee singles, I could just hear Dale something, and Smash 4 singles. We are maxed out of an entrance and had to put an entry cap up because so many people were saying they're coming up and have confirmed that they're coming up, to the point where we've actually maxed out entrance and have now had BR Tarolg saying that he'll come up if he wants to, just for money matches and friendlies and just to chill. And it's kind of crazy to think that we've maxed our entrance and yeah, Dale's like freaking out slightly.
If I hadn't put the cap on at 50, it would have kept going and going and going.
Why do people want to come up to the NE so bad?
No, I know,
but... You guys
but
are awesome, man.
Yeah,
there's got to be, like... Because I feel bad because I think some people have forgot to sign up and little things like that. But if I hadn't have done it, like, it would be irresponsible. Like, we could potentially have 70 people turn up and it never get finished and it'd be one big old disaster and yada yada yada. So I do feel bad that it's been capped and there are people missing out, but tough.
However,
titties.
we do have a large amount of people coming up though, and the names we've got coming up, like we've got all the NE boys, they're all going to be there hopefully, except for Manon who's not going to be there unfortunately. However, in his place we have 8-Bit Planet coming up, so we've got Bullet Bill I think is confirmed, I think TNT is confirmed, I think Schleps is confirmed, Schleppies is confirmed. I think.
Yeah. You know the situation I was talking about where people have forgot to sign up.
Yeah.
He falls under that category, so it's still being sorted. But he hopefully we'll get him there.
We've also got Mr. Lorenzo here coming up again.
Absolutely.
Coming back for more of NE's hospitality NE, as I like to call it.
Shouts to
really stupid.
Shouts to Heaton Boys, man.
Heaton Boys. Dale's not part of Heaton Boys. They've excluded him, though he lives in Heaton, which is
I live in Heaton. It makes no sense.
Who else got coming up? I think we have a certain Serpentine Spacey confirmed to be coming up to Newcastle. That's a really obscure reference, but I'm talking about Prof. Prof is coming to NES2.
Prof is coming. He's going to get the coach up with me.
I think
so.
Jin is confirmed. I think.
Yeah,
he's confirmed.
Rich is I think going to carpool a few people up. So I think Jin's coming as well, isn't he?
Jin is coming. Jin is confirmed. I don't know about Wills.
No,
Wills is confirmed.
Is he confirmed? Okay, cool. Did Tet sign up for him?
No, Wills.
Okay, cool.
Shildon Boys are going to have a lot of people.
Yes. I don't think Sam's going to mind. I don't think Chav's going to mind about that. I think he's going to be happy to have more than enough people just crammed into his house in Shildon. But NES2 is going to be huge. Twitch.tv/Underworld Asylum if I'm going to do a bit of self-promotion for it, because I'm going to be there. Everyone's going to be there, essentially.
Yeah, so, myself and Skrull on the mic.
OTV on the mic, that would be hype. That would be mad hype. So, NES2, March 8th. Come or watch, one of the two. If I don't come, we've got too many people already, as much as I'd love more people. But yeah, I think that's all the upcoming tournaments, so we can just move on to some topics then.
Yeah.
Can I just backtrack ever so slightly?
Go for it.
Go for it, man.
Just to say, Brado, I was watching the VODs on Smash UK.
Yeah.
The stream you've got set up for me is really, really good. Really good.
I was actually going to ask if we could go over that. We've got Cal to stream it for us. He streamed and played. And this is the first time we've really streamed the tournament on his own. So I think he did a really good job, to be fair.
Yeah, the stream was really good. Really solid.
We've got stuff to improve for it next time, and we probably will have a stream up for May. I think we'll bang on the Smash UK one, just for more exposure.
Yeah, no, I'd definitely do that if you can, because...
yeah. But no, I'm glad you appreciate it. Me and Cal, and we're practicing stream a lot. We stream a lot during the week, just practice, and we're going to be streaming with Jin tonight as well. So if you ever want to watch, we stream on Cal's as well.
Yeah. And actually, I think this segues quite nicely into the topic of how the UK is starting to get a lot of dedicated streamers, which is really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do. There are a lot of people, and there are a lot of players, and sort of I don't want to say, no, it's not right to say company, teams and regions are more sort of getting into the whole streaming thing. So we've got Fuzziness, who's always been a streamer. He's streamed for ages now.
He streams Melee, but not exactly. He streams Adventure Mode.
Hey, it's still hyped to watch.
He streams a lot as well, all the time.
Oh, I'm not gonna. No, I'm not saying that. I freaking love watching Fuzzy playing Adventure Mode. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's great.
But, I also I watch it till 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. But it gets to a point where you start to share his pain because
you just want him to get a run. You just want him to get a run so you can end.
RNG.
How many runs has he done of Adventure Mode? Isn't it
many.
Thousands?
In the thousands, I'd say.
Definitely.
It's because it's within the first phase of the entire Adventure Mode. So you start off and it's oh, Yoshi boot, that's it, reset, that's it, GG.
Yeah, so 6 hours into a stream, I just want someone to hold him and cradle him and tell him it's going to be all right, because he gets he gets so mad at the RNG and things like that.
I saw one of his runs where he had the perfect world record RNG and then like scuffed it, and I thought he was crying. I swear to God, I thought he was crying. I was like, "Oh my God, Fuzzy, it's gonna be okay, buddy. Don't worry about it."
Oh,
is that the video that made it onto GR Smash?
Yeah, GR Smash.
I would like
YouTube is quality, and yeah, it was
shout out to GR Smash. Good lad.
It's his fault. He shouldn't have gone and looked. He was like, because he wrote it off. He saw it was a Triforce, and he's like, it's not a Triforce. Yeah. So I'm gonna go and do the other ones, and then he's like, okay, hell, I'm gonna go check. So he runs it out, kills the run, and then goes back and it is a Triforce, and he's like,
the saddest.
Yeah,
times.
He's so upset.
Oh my God.
I'm just like, it's not worth it, Fuzzy.
Fuzzy's got his stream. Prof has started streaming now, after so long of having a stream but just not doing anything with it. Shouts to Prof. Good stuff.
Oh yes, this is just getting started, and fantastically, he's gotten this amazing idea going that he's going to start doing a proper he's going to do sit down sessions with everybody. So he's going to have people going on his stream, him sitting down with them, playing lots, grinding out some games, and him trying to improve everyone in the scene, because Prof's one of those guys. He's one of those guys who just like everyone needs to get better, and he wants to, and he's always been putting in the work for that. So I think this is going to be a huge boon to the community, stuff like this, because obviously, like, it's brilliant when we are. I mean, all of us have been putting in work, like getting our tournament, hosting more tournaments, more fests, streams, all the rest of it. But when you have our best player who's like, okay, I'm gonna teach you all, then you're like, because I mean, our scene is growing fantastic. As in, our scene is impressive, but
the country as a whole is just emerging so significantly, and that's incredible.
Yeah, but the skill level, the skill level,
the gap is still present.
The skill level needs improving, and that's where people like Prof come in, because they're like, we can, we're on the other side of the gap. We will show you the magic powers, the ways of the Jedi, and soon you will all be gods yourselves.
Yeah,
maybe
the
not.
big thing as well. The big thing as well, Prof doesn't have to do this.
No, absolutely.
At all. Prof could just continue to take everyone's money and, do you know what I mean? Just sort of ride the wave of winning everything.
Yeah.
But it's it's honestly such a testament to his character, the fact that he decide more. Actually, you know what? Let's get everyone else better. Like, he doesn't have to do that at all. It's really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something I'd like to see a few of the bigger American players doing this as well.
Absolutely.
It'd be great if you could see just Mango invite some random guy around his house and play with him and stuff.
Instead of just Alex19 and Lucky over and over and over again.
To be fair, actually, M2K does this quite a lot, because he'll play with anybody. I mean, the guy is...
That doesn't necessarily mean he's helping them, though. He's just playing with them. Like, if you watch any PB&J streams where they get, like, people... When PB&J's like, okay, let's get in Bones, and MK's just like, I'm just going to play Puff against you, because I just want to play this game, and I'm going to disgrace you with your own character. Like, I'm not saying that's what MTK's initially supposed to be doing. Like, that's not, like, what his target is, but it's just sort of the way he comes across.
Yeah, no, fair. And, of course, the thing is that this really does... This, in a way, I mean, aside from the fact that... I mean, obviously, we all appreciate this so much. Prof's going to get a lot of... he's going to get so much love for this, donations, subs, all the rest of it. Like, he's going to be winning out in a lot of ways. But one of the biggest ways he's winning out just by doing this for the community is the fact that if we get better, then he'll get better. Because he wants to be properly good over there. And he still isn't quite there yet. Like, he does really well when he's over there on a good day. But, I mean... He's still not on the level where he's making top 8 at Apex. He's not doing that yet. And I think he'd like to. He really wants to, because he's always been hungry, and he's never stopped being hungry. And I think one of the things he's realized is that if we get better, then it's going to force him to get better. Because on a regular basis, he's not playing people who are challenging him enough, really, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, it's Fuzzy. Is that about it?
Yeah, but Fuzzy doesn't play. Fuzzy doesn't play.
It's true. Adventure modes.
Angel, definitely.
And VA is all the way over in Brighton.
Yeah, he has a life, so...
Yeah, he has a life. Oh, how dare he.
Yeah, but it's good to see. It's good to see that Prof is taking the initiative of, I want not only myself to get better, but literally everyone around me to get better. And it's good to see that, because if we're travelling over to Beast and then we have, like, Prof and VA being the only one... If you look on the SSB wiki and you look on the Beast 5 page, in the Melee bracket, there were 2 UK flags, VA and Prof. Like, that's to be expected, obviously, but we don't want that to have to be expected. We want more people to be doing even more work and getting out of pools and doing significant work in the bracket. That's just sort of the bottom line. Like, we don't want to have to look at brackets of international tournaments and just say, like, oh, Prof and VA, surprise, surprise. We want to say, like, oh, Jin is up there, that's amazing, good stuff, Jin. We want to see Will's up there, you know. We want these people who we know are significantly good to become even better in the long run.
Oh, yes.
People are practicing, though. Like, I think that it's important to remember that there's a lot, like, especially after Beast, exactly, yeah. Like, everyone's sort of got that drive now. So this, the Prof announcement was just the icing on the cake, really, and hopefully it should boost everyone's skills level.
We saw what the reaction was. Everyone was like, pick me, Prof, pick me, senpai.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've got a little theory involving like that, in the sense that like the UK now, everyone's always like wanting to get better and stuff, but obviously we're still quite new into rebuilding the scene back up. Say for the past year it's been booming, and then before that it was really quiet. So I think like now we've got scenes set up in pretty much every major area now. We've got Wales, Scotland, Newcastle, Northwest, Midlands. Now everything's set up and there's regular events and regular tournaments. I think the skill level is going to rise at a much better pace.
Yeah, we've done the setup now, so now it's a case of...
I think now it's a case of grinding properly and people getting to play tournaments all the time. I really think the skill level will rise a lot quicker.
Yeah, that's
agreed.
Pretty much the bottom line of it.
Yeah.
It's good. We've got a lot... Yeah, we can go forward quite well with this.
And... I mean, if we go back to the idea of the Americans doing this, one person who has, I mean, even in his sort of time, you know, because he's been off the radar for a long time, but he's come, you know, he came back in the most groundbreaking way possible out of his hyperbolic time chamber at Apex, and he came back and won Apex to PPMD. PPMD.
All ideas we have. We can practice well in the tournaments, but
but the thing is that PP is one of those scientists of the game who has been putting in who's been doing so much to help the community, in the sense that he's the king of theorycraft. Let's be honest, he's one of the real kings of theory.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Him and Cactor have just, because I mean, personally, I've been reading, you know, maths tutorials in the last couple of months, and it's all stuff from him. It's all him saying, it's all posts from him and Cactor saying, you know, this is how we think that, you know, you should approach different situations and so on. And just recently, after Apex, what does PP do? He decides, okay, I'm gonna do something for the community. I'm gonna go on Reddit and answer everybody's questions. And this is, you know, this is someone who cares about the community, and
he's
that's
such a nice guy as well. Like, overall, he's legitimately just a nice guy. Like, it's incredible to see that. Like, because again, like the idea of he doesn't have to do this, like, at all. Like, he is one of, you know, if we're going into this idea of the gods of Smash, he is definitely up there and one of them. And it's very, very interesting to see when they, you know, decide I'm just going to talk to people. It's weird. It's good to see that he's doing like this sort of stuff, like going into this AMA that he doesn't again have to do. He doesn't have to answer every single question like he did, but he did. He went through and just like I know I know you asked him about Marth Punches, Lorenzo, and he gave you like an essay to read or something along those lines.
Well, he gave me some very good advice. He basically said, "Go." I said, "Look, I still can't combo with Marth," and he said, "Well, go on 20XX." Use save state and practice and see what every move does in a certain situation. I thought that's a really good idea. Like, I mean, obviously, you know, it's People could tell me that, but he gave me sound answers, and it's not just. I mean, okay, lots of people were saying to him, they would just ask him interview-style questions like, "PP, what's your favorite food?" etc., etc. Yeah. But there were a lot of people like myself who wanted to, ask, get a little grain of wisdom from the sensei, and he provided. So I guess he enjoys it, clearly, because he's always been one of those people who posts constantly on threads.
Yeah.
And it's good to see that he wants to talk to people. He wants to reach out, especially after his time away.
I think the most obvious thing that came from that was how badly he dominates the mental game. Like you said with the theory stuff, he just has such good, strong opinions on it, and he just seems to understand every player. Because he never seemed to say that other players got the better of me, it was just himself. Because he seemed to understand everyone else's playstyle so well.
Yeah, like he'll lose games as well to figure someone out. Like, who does that? Like, no one does that but him. No one would actively lose a game, or be happy to lose, so he can work out that player and then win the next 2-3. Like, ridiculous.
I love that contemplative face in it. The one where he's just lost a game and he's like,
He does look like a cartoon character just going...
What happened there? Oh, I know.
And then it's just like, okay, I just changed this, and this. Like most players can't actively, He
does that in between stocks, even.
Yeah.
He just sort of has a little think.
That deep breath that he does as well. And then he just goes straight back into it because he's like in that millisecond. He's thought about his loss, and he's thought about okay, I lost that stock because X, Y, and Z. Time to do Z, Y, X, and then he does it, and it's okay. Well, that was pretty quick turn on its head.
Yeah, absolutely.
PPMD is a monster. Is the TLDR of that? Yeah.
I mean, if we stay with the Americans just for a little moment, because obviously, I mean, this podcast is primarily about our scene, and we've talked a lot about our scene, but the Americans are where most of the big stuff is always happening.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things that's happened very recently is Gimmer's announcement that VGBC will no longer be streaming PM. And UNE guys obviously have probably had quite a lot to say on this, because it's primarily your game still, PM.
It's really interesting. Well, for me, as a melee main, the way I look at it is I trust Gimmer. And I know a lot of people in the Northeast who say, Gimmer is making a terrible decision. We haven't really seen what Nintendo is offering, etc., etc., etc. The continual, as I like to call it, the Reddit argument, because that's all that Reddit see. Reddit see, things that they don't like, and then they, take it out of proportion. The way I've looked at it is that I trust Gimmer as being, in my eyes, the best Smash streamer, hands down. And the way I've looked at it is, again, I just trust him, and I'm going to see what he does with this, because he's made good decisions in the past in terms of not only streaming, but sponsorships and all sorts in terms of Smash as a whole. And they've been choices that people may not have agreed with, but in the long run, they were the good, solid choice to make. And that's my
I have the complete opposite opinion.
I know you do, Dale. Go for it. Run with it.
Right, so there's a few points to this that really tick me off. The first one being the fact, and it can't really be denied that VG Bootcamp and its success started with PM.
Well, that's debatable. It started really with Brawl.
No, all of the subs, all of the streams, initial boom and success, it started with PM. So it seems to me a little wrong for them later to go down the line and go, well, it's a bit of a grey area, we're just going to drop it. Especially because, and this is the most annoying thing, we don't know what's going on. People keep throwing around these words like grey area, and we're not sure, but no one, it's either no one knows for certain, or they're not telling us what the situation is. And that's the most frustrating thing about about the whole situation. Because, there's a lot of people that play and love PM, and it's not a nice feeling knowing that the game that you love, its future is, quote unquote, uncertain, because people have information that we don't. Do you know what I mean? They keep sort of painting Nintendo as this sort of like big villainous figure, but we don't know if they care. If they do care, we don't know what they've said. Like,
the way I've looked at it is, it's like Nintendo may not be appreciative of PM because, like, the way I've decided to interpret grey area, or the way I've defined grey area in my own head, is how it's basically we've taken something that we enjoyed to some extent. Well, we enjoyed with being Brawl, and we changed it so we could enjoy it even more. That's the way I've looked at it. However, Nintendo may look at it and think, they've taken our game and used, things, hacks, in order to make it what they deem to be better, but they must have viewed our game originally as bad, meaning why they had to do that.
But the point there, though, is that you said that may be the case. You don't know.
Yeah,
like, it's all speculation.
It is all speculation.
It's the most annoying thing. Like, we just don't know. Like, there's no transparency at all. It just seems to be hearsay or speculation, and no one really knows what the situation is. So I completely understand why Gamer got so much backlash, and understandably so, because he didn't have any reasons really. His reasons were vague, because if Nintendo aren't saying anything and he just thinks that Nintendo are going to say something, is that a good enough reason to drop it?
It's the same sort of thing that happened with Beast 5's Melee pack, wasn't it? That Lolex and had obviously gone through the effort of making this really nice 20XX pack for Beast, and he had like
Alliance Peach.
Yeah, he had like Alliance Peach, LLL, Falcon, and all that sort of stuff. I think he had a VWS Fox, if I remember correctly. Something really super cool like that. Like,
he had a C9 Fox, but
a C9 Fox, exactly. He had like esports sort of like, he was doing something which was really, really cool and would have been cool to see throughout the entire event. However, because a certain TO, who I'm not going to bring the name into because I don't want his name being brought into our show because it's not worth it, said that because Nintendo may not like the fact that they've modded Melee, that, just take it off, use the GameCube, whatever. And that's what they had to do, because they didn't really have a choice, because this TO was co-head TO of Apex. And because Beast 5 is part of the Apex World Circuit, they couldn't do anything about it, so they had to just put up with it.
My opinion on the whole matter with PM and VGBC is I can't really fault Gimmer for anything, due to the fact that it's his job, it's his livelihood, and whether the legal grey area is a big issue or not, it's not worth the risk. As a business and whatever, he can't just have, like, say his YouTube got shut down or his stream got shut down. He couldn't really take that risk and be back to zero. Yeah. I think that's the biggest issue, and if it was me in that position, if I had a decision to make with my job where I was doing something a bit iffy, then I'd just drop it if I had the chance to.
When you find yourself in the situation where you've become really successful and you're starting to get deals, starting to get affiliations with the big leagues, with the companies, with Nintendo and so on, then you've got to respect their wishes, because it's like, I've seen YouTubers in the past who have basically made videos saying, I've been given warnings now, and YouTube is it doesn't have much leniency, so they will close channels after maybe 3 strikes of copyright infringement, and it can be the stupidest little copyright infringement. So you've got to be really, really careful.
Yeah. So then, does that mean that we know for a fact that there's a problem with PM?
No, not necessarily at all. But I think it's more because he's so in the spotlight. He's the biggest Smash streamer by a long shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's not worth taking that risk for him. For someone smaller, it's fine to take that risk if they're not making that much money or they're not putting their livelihood on it. But I think something as big as that, it's worth just staying in the right. And I think especially because we've got Smash 4 as well as Melee, there's enough reason to just go forth without PM.
Exactly. And there are still people streaming PM, it's just that Gimmer isn't anymore. Like, there are still people doing it. Like Texas, Tony Located still do it. I mean, who else still does it? UMD Smash said they're going to take up the handle of doing PM at Zandu.
Yeah, I mean, it's what we're saying is that it doesn't mean that we're not going to get to see PM, just not on VGBC.
Exactly.
Xanadu PM is still being streamed.
Yeah.
My guess is that, I mean, I don't know this, but I'm sure that my guess is that Gimmer at the very least probably at least put some effort into making sure that someone was going to take things up for him.
Yeah. We've still got other big PM streamers. Clash tournaments, they're still big. And I know they're streaming a big PM tournament this weekend. So there's still options. I just think for VGBC, I don't think there should be any sort of backlash whatsoever.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean...
If you got to think about it rationally as a business sense rather than I know it's hard when it's like the Smash community and stuff, but end of the day, we want it to continue growing, and if VGBC got shut down, we'd all be a bit bummed out, wouldn't we?
Yeah, quite right. I mean, PM has got controversy all over it, considering what happened to Apex for a start.
Yeah.
And if that's the what's going to be happening, then we're going to have to roll with it, because Apex was, even after all of the issues. I mean, hashtag thank you Twitch, all the rest of it. The event was saved. It was still a very successful event overall.
Exactly.
And it just shows that our community is, it's continually growing in all parts of the world, and we're going to have to roll. There's no reason to jeopardize it like that.
Yeah.
And get, we're starting to get on good terms with, say, Nintendo, and or at least better terms than we have been before. We're not underground anymore.
Exactly.
And
why squander all that for something that we enjoy, admittedly, but
we don't know who would squander it. Like that's my point. Like I completely agree with what you're saying. Like if there is a situation where it would like potentially affect his livelihood, absolutely he shouldn't do it. Completely agree, because no one wants to lose VGBC. But we just don't know. We don't know what Nintendo's stance is on it. We don't know if in a week they're going to shut it down. We don't know in a month. There's just no information at all. So like all the people that play PM are just sort of scratching their heads going, can we still play this game in a month, 2 months, 3 years? We don't know.
To be honest, the LA community especially is just a testament to a game's survivability based on its gameplay. We weren't streaming to thousands and thousands of people 5 years ago, but we still had tournaments. I think PM will be fine as long as people still want to play it, which is the main thing.
I mean,
we have a very strong PM community in this country.
Yeah. To the point where we will force another country to put a tournament on so we can play PM in that country.
Yeah, shouts to Beast.
Yeah.
I mean, enough of us were going that we were like, we want to play PM too. But I do agree with what Dale's saying of the fact that Nintendo's quite faceless about the whole thing. Nintendo's never a company to sort of make a nice, solid statement, and if they do, they're going to do it on like a. I mean, we saw even when it came to the exposés with Smash 4 and so on the Wii U. It's all very. I mean, they give information when they want to, but they're never they're never one of those companies that just sort of, is on Twitter constantly saying that, answering people's questions or like, giving useful information, like informative statements on the regular. Yeah. Occasionally they'll out with information, but most of the time they're quite behind closed doors. Nintendo, I think they like it that way.
Yeah.
Which is why this is so frustrating for all of us, for sure. Because the thing is, it falls on Gimmer, because Gimmer is one of those people who's who's on the regular, being very informative about his stances on things on Twitter, etc., etc. So he's the one who's going to be like, Nintendo just told me to do this. Yeah, like, I mean, he didn't say that even, but like he's the one who, it's down to him to make these announcements, because he's the one who's out there with the community, unlike Nintendo.
Yeah,
so yeah.
True.
Yeah, it must suck.
Yeah,
it's tough, definitely.
We'll have to see how it develops over time, to be honest with you.
Yeah, speaking of Twitter, of course, let's just give a brief mention to our own Twitter now.
We have a Twitter. We are esports, kinda. I don't know. At OTB_Smash if you want to tweet at us. I don't know what you'd want to tweet at us. Questions, I guess. If you want to.
Questions?
Yeah, I think that was my idea. Really, if we could get some like a bit of a Q&A section at the end, because we have all of these revolving guests. It would be good if we could get some like questions for them.
That'd be good.
So that would be a good thing. Yeah, if we could get people tweeting questions or feedback, or this was good, this was bad, Henry sucks, things like that.
Just sticking that at the end there, won't you?
Yes,
right.
Anything like that would be appreciated.
Well, the Henry sucks bit would be appreciated, would it? All right, fair enough.
Honest feedback, Henry.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so swiftly moving along from that then, I guess we can talk about an event that the Northeast held, which was going to be for the lovely Kreygasm, who recently put out on the Facebook that for what is going to be a pretty big thing, going to be Heir to the Throne.
It's going to be the largest UK tournament of the year.
Yeah.
Easily.
It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be the largest UK tournament ever, surely.
Oh, yes.
It's going to be amazing.
Without a doubt.
I'm incredibly excited.
I'm hyped for it.
I think everyone is.
Brad, are you excited to make Vince salty again?
Maybe. He might have surpassed me now, I'm not sure.
Oh my.
He is really good at the neutral game.
Alright.
No shots.
So, yeah.
Obligatory shots have been fired, let's move on.
So Ed Cohn put out on Facebook that he needed a bit of a hand considering the tournament costs as a whole, because hosting a tournament costs a significant amount of money just for the furniture, essentially, that you need in order to hold these beasts that are CRTs and all of that sort of stuff, and he said that he needed a bit of help. So the Northeast, being a region where we don't really do much in terms of the rest of the UK, so we decided to host Heir Aid, which was the brainchild of DCJ, where we had a 24-hour stream, which involved a lot of stuff happened,
including an OTB.
An OTB did indeed happen, and it was probably one of the most off-the-cuff things we've ever done, but it was hilarious because of how sort of last minute it was. But we had a low-tier tournament in Melee, we had random doubles where we put names in a hat, and we got some very interesting teams, including myself and Dearbound, who still have no synergy whatsoever when it comes to teams.
Dale and I weren't much better.
DCJ
I'd had a few as well, so there was lots of just crouch cancel down smashing everything.
One of my favourite teams that I saw was definitely just Tafkang and Jolteon, because for those of you who don't know the Northeast scene at all, Tafkang is one of our bless him, he tries.
Worst players.
Fair. Bless him, he tries, but he sucks. That's the sort of short of it. But he was teamed with Jolteon, and they placed third. And Jolteon's back must have been so sore from just carrying him.
He was complaining afterwards about quite how sore his back was.
Yeah, we had other stuff as well. We had Smash 64, where I got bodied. Yeah.
Again, shout outs to Jolteon, who came up with myself and Shane BAP, and
Bap.
Jolteon.
Bap's a Heaton boy. Bap is a Heaton boy. He is no longer in London.
No, he's also a Heaton boy. He's been talking about just moving to Newcastle.
Amazing.
Jolteon basically just swept because why not?
It was a charity event.
Yeah,
he won
nothing.
The Smash 64 was quite entertaining to watch.
It was so dumb. Yeah, but we also had a charity auction where the best item that I've ever seen ever was auctioned off, and it made. Well, there was some. Well, during these sort of giveaway and auction things we had going on, we had some very cool stuff. We had a Donkey Konga bundle. We had a Marth amiibo, which was run by Marth Main Sui. So shouts to Lee.
I'm so sorry about that. I wanted that.
And then we had one of what I like to call the true brainchild of the Northeast, which was the Holy Bible of DC Jank. For those of you that didn't see it on stream,
it was. Yeah, it's the greatest thing I have
we put a stupid amount of time into that. There was misdirection, there were mind games, there was There was also an event which I'd like to point out called DaleCon 1, which happened in the chat when Dale went on a rampage when we wouldn't tell him what was going on and started just removing people, just straight removing people for not telling him what was going on.
I couldn't handle a situation where I wasn't in a back room. There was a back room that I wasn't in.
He was going to smash down that door. He would smash down that door and just force his way in, and we were just not having any of it. And there was some beautiful, beautiful bits of artistry. One of our friends of the Northeast, Steph, who is an amazing, amazing artist, made what is Dale's now Twitter Abbey, which is just amazing. It's just him looking angry and frowny, as per usual. And there was some beautiful, beautiful photos in there. I don't know how we got most of them. I think they were just on Dearbound's camera. But I'm happy
you were creepy and you stalked my Facebook. That's what you did.
Yeah.
You were creepy little weirdos and you stole pictures of me. Like,
my favourite image.
I don't know why you thought I'd be cool with it. Like,
we know you wouldn't be, which is why it was funny. We knew you wouldn't be.
You opened a book and you're like, oh, by the way, Dale, here's a creepy, weird book we made that we're going to auction off with like the most unflattering, horrible pictures of you we could find.
That was the point. It was amazing.
Who would like to buy it? And I just have to sit there and take it.
Aaron paid £37 for it.
Yeah, someone paid
£37.
Yes, 37 quid.
God.
And Shane was super salty because he was gonna up it to 40, but didn't have the money on him, which is just.
I'd have spotted him, but he wasn't up for it.
Oh man, it was. Oh god. And now I've heard there's a second one of a different NE player. And now I'm super worried as to who it is, because it might be me or Aaron. So we'll see.
Javi's not got anything better in the world to do.
No, that's why we hosted Heir Aid. That's why we hosted that, because we had nothing better.
Like, go outside, see the sun, do something.
There's no Smash outside, Dale. There's no Smash outside. There's a fox, but he doesn't. He's not. He just bites me. It's horrible.
Heir Aid was really good. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it was
really fun to watch. This is from I just watched it. I must have watched about 8 hours of it. For some reason. But no, obviously I'm on the Air staff team and it's super appreciative of you lot doing that, and I genuinely could not believe the amount of money you raised. It was brilliant.
Yeah, the final total, which we failed to mention actually, which was £251.48, which reached a lot of stretch goals, which we didn't think, which included having quote-unquote fuzziness doing a speedrun.
Shout outs to Duckiness, yeah.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that far too much.
The funny thing is, he got perfect RNG on every single occasion, and he just didn't know what was going on, bless him.
Oh wow! If I can't remember, did he really? Because if so, then
do you remember on the small Donkey Kong part when he got onto the platform and then they both jumped and we were like, "That's perfect RNG," and he was like, "No, it's all right." I'm like, "Oh my god, stop!" I love Ducky.
Poor Fuzzy. So Fuzzy with his RNG woes and Duckiness tries it once and gets all the goodness.
Speaking of fuzziness, actually, he hosted the stream for a while. So shoutouts to Fuzziness for doing that, just getting us a bit more exposure. I don't know what the viewer count peaked at. I think it was like 50 viewers at one point, or even more.
Yeah, we did well. Just shout out to everyone in the UK, everyone that donated, everyone that watched. It was. I didn't think we'd do even half as well as we would.
I honestly, I had a worry the night before. Like, is anyone actually going to donate at all? Are we going to just have to sort of like put in our own money from tournaments? And I think the final the total we raised from what we were doing at the venue was like 60, and then the rest of it was like donations. I think.
Really? That's awesome.
It was really a ridiculous amount, and it was so cool to see the UK coming out in full force and just donating for what they believe in, which wasn't us, it was Air, and we do owe so much to Ed for doing so much over the years for the UK. So shout outs to Ed. I gave you so many shouts on the day, but I'm going to give you more because you just frankly deserve it. Yeah, Air Aid was fun, and I can't wait to go to Air because I'm definitely going this year. Definitely.
Air is still my favourite tournament of all time.
Yeah, me too. Like without question. Like better than Beast, just. The whole atmosphere that came with that tournament is it's really hard to describe. It was
think about it. Like you remember that we were the loudest, most obnoxious country easily at Beast, but that's all it was at Air. It was brilliant. The atmosphere. It was the loudest, the most shouting. Like
it was
call outs, everything.
it was the first time, I remember it was the first time I met you, Brado, because you remember there was a guy in the room next to me that was punching in the walls, because punching in the walls and being sick everywhere.
Yeah.
You had to come and apologise. Yeah, that was my first interaction with you. And
the first time I met you, I was really drunk.
Who was it? Was it LaFroglet or someone?
No, it was KFT, Harry Coop. He'd had
playing drinking games or something.
Yeah, they had a around the world, take a shot for every character, and they got about 20 odd characters in.
Oh God.
Yeah. But no, that's the first time I met Dale in a corridor trying to explain what was going on. I was also very drunk myself. I was like, oh, you're from Newcastle.
That was quite a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a quality weekend, and I just can't wait for it again with something like twice as many people we're looking. It's going to be a lot of people there.
Yeah, also with the money that we've raised so far, we should be looking at much better internet, so we could be, because the stream quality, I mean, we had a stream.
I remember watching the stream and being like, I can't tell what's going on.
Yeah,
I know Fred, like, stream is like sort of like focus on the tournament and the event itself, and then worry about stream and internet later. That's a respectable way to look at it, because you're hosting a tournament, not like, you know, anything else. But like, I remember watching it being like, I think that's a Mario, so Jelly must be playing. I think.
Well, it's not his fault. The venue...
No, definitely not. Definitely
no,
not.
We're always fighting a losing battle with that stream then, but we should have something sorted this time. They're definitely good.
To be fair, at least for that tournament, everyone who would have been watching it was at the tournament anyway.
Yeah, basically.
The vast majority were, yeah.
So
yeah, a good portion of the UK scene was there. Pretty much.
Yeah, only a couple of people who didn't make it.
Yeah, all the important people went.
Yeah.
Shout outs to King NDJ, who was in the stream chat and got on the phone with me briefly to do some over the phone commentary. It didn't last very long.
I just remember it being me and Shane in the stream chat being very upset that we weren't there. That's what I remember. Just me and Bat being like, I wish I was there.
Yeah. If you don't go this year, you're actually stupid. Like,
I quit go last year.
Like seriously, I kind of
no, straight up.
I don't know how much like gushing people have to hear before they decide that they're just going to go. Because
I'm going. I was decided since I was like sitting in my grandparents' house and Surrey watching it last year, going, I wish I was there. For me to decide I am going next year, and that is without question.
Quite right. Well, sorry. I had something else to say. Basically, in terms of we get the stream this year is going to be much better. Also, the other thing I was going to mention, of course, is it is in fact the same weekend as Evo, and
whatever.
No. The beauty of that is that, I mean, obviously, some of us might be making it to Evo, but not many, because considering how much travel is, it's a long way, and
it's expensive.
I mean, I've spoken to profs now. I can't go. You know, I mean, 700. It's like nearly $1,000 to the trip. That's too much. So, the other thing is that we'll have good internet, and considering the time difference, we ain't getting any sleep, because as soon as our matches are over, we're going to be watching the stream.
Hey.
So basically, there's going to be a 200 odd man crowd watching the Evo stream. So it'll be, to be honest, it'll be almost as hype as being there, really.
That's the way it's
going to be good.
Spend like a tenth of the cost, and you'll have 10 times better time.
Yeah, and get fed, probably.
And drink a lot, I'm assuming, is what's going to happen.
Yeah, there was quite a lot of drinking.
We don't do alcohol in the Midlands. What are you on about?
I should be 18 by then, so I'll be legal.
Yay.
Woo! Cool.
Lord Henry.
So unless we have anything else to say, I think that just about wraps it up. Unless anyone has any final words.
Well, plug yourselves, boys. Plug your Twitters.
Okay, my Twitter is at Brad Cobra, like the snake. I don't know why. Yeah, follow me on there if you really want. I don't really tweet about Smash, but I stream all the time with Kreygasm, so it's twitch.tv/Kreygasm.
LC!
Yeah. I would try and promote my tournaments, but they fill up too quickly, so I'll let everyone know.
Ooh! Yeah!
But yeah. But no, if you're in the Midlands, come join Midlands Smash, get involved, there's so much happening. But yeah, thanks for having us on as well. It's been quite fun.
Excellent, no other man. And Dale, self-promote yourself, or do I?
I have a Twitter. It's UA_DCJ.
It's mostly just him calling me and a few other NE players weebs. That's about as much as he tweets.
It's my new favourite word. I like to call people weeps. But I don't really use Twitter, so watch the stream, any stream. You might see me on there sometimes, or come to the NE. I live in the northeast. So.
Go to
you are the worst at self-promoting yourself, Dale. You are.
I'm sold. I'm completely sold.
Too.
And I travel a lot as well, so I'll mostly be at tournaments, so you'll be able to see me there.
Don't watch his stream though, because his stream's trash. Don't watch Dale's stream.
I tried. No, seriously, I tried streaming one time. I didn't really know what I did, and I just turned it off and left sad. So.
Alright, fair enough.
That's how that works. And of course, you can follow myself at Wobbling Scroll. Lorenzo is at Lorenzo the Kind. Don't forget at OTB_Smash, which I'm going to have to get used to saying now because we actually have one. Don't forget to tweet us on there, follow us, do whatever, promote your scene, build the UK, and other such things.
Yeah, much love. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Take care, guys.